Can Trump control Netanyahu?
Of course. The question is, can Trump constrain himself? Can he say, I'm just ending this? I thought it was going to be a one-day Maduro-type operation. That's what Bibi told me. Bibi was bullshitting me. Now I understand it. It didn't work. I'm stopping this, and I'm telling Bibi, you stop this too. And could that work? Well, when Trump said to Netanyahu, stop the bombing of Beirut, we had a demonstration. It can work. Could Israel continue the war without the United States? Basically not for one day. Could Israel actually survive the global opprobrium, including the American opprobrium of Israel's extremism? I don't think for one day, actually. Israel needs to trade. It needs tourism. It needs contracts. It needs finance. And if Israel's totally, completely a rogue state without the American empire backing it, without the American military backing it, without the American intelligence, without the satellite data coming in. It's not Israel's, it's America's, believe me. Without all of that, no, Israel cannot do anything on this. But we bought into the whole package. We bought into it for a mix of perceived American self-interest in our global power, that Israel's hegemony in the region was consistent with our desire for global control. We bought into the Iran story because Israel's story that we got to kill them before they kill us is not inconsistent with our desire to have revenge and to control their oil. In other words, it's a partnership.
Yep.
And it's a real partnership. But Israel's capacity to have this war that stretches now from Libya to Iran, that's an American capacity. But we're bleeding from it. We're bleeding from Israel's wars. And this, I think, is really important to understand. You know, Trump said something quite interesting, the Washington gaffe, meaning that he told the truth, not off script. But he said, we can't afford the wars and those things like childcare, Medicare and Medicaid and other, those individual things, he said. And you know what? It's true. We're bleeding. And what did he do? He said, okay, we're going to cut all those things that Americans actually need and want, because we want our health care. We actually want to be able to have dental repairs or get medicines or see a doctor or have an operation if our lives depend on it. We want that. And Trump said, no, we have to have war instead. So he put in a budget a couple of weeks ago, which didn't get any attention because it won't be enacted by Congress. But he'd put in a budget in which the military spending goes up another $500 billion. And the things like he said, you know, the health and other things, oh, we can't afford that, goes down in this budget to make people who are hurting in this country, they would hurt desperately more. Not to mention the gas pump, and not to mention everything, food prices and everything else that they are already facing from these wars, but will face cataclysmically if they don't choose the off-ramp. So can Trump say this? He has to say this for the American people, first of all. He has to, because this is really about us right now. He has to listen to the American people. We don't want this. It's no good for us. It's anyway crazy extremism. We don't buy into this. We don't buy into the story. We don't need this. We don't need the American empire owning Iran. We don't need revenge for 1979. We don't need greater Israel. We don't need all of these things. We need our health care, our dental care, our daily lives. We want peace. We don't want to be murdering schoolgirls. We don't want to be murdering people. We don't want to be destroying ancient cultures in different places in the world. And Mr. President, your partner cannot do this for one moment without your backing. So your job is to tell Mr. Netanyahu, your clean break, 30 years, maybe $10 trillion of American treasure now piled up in debt. We tried your approach. It's done. Now we're going to try peace. That's what he needs to tell him. It can work.
I mean, you are denying the basic necessities of the American people for the defense of Israel. It's not really defense. It's just pure evil. That's what they're doing. And you are going to be financing that instead of helping the American people with Medicaid, Medicare, just basic necessities.
Work.
third question about the off-ramp. So the United States would have to, the president, but the whole government would have to swallow that. We'll just have to admit it didn't work. And Iran is now more powerful. Iran is an economic power, which we didn't understand, I don't think, before this war. We thought of them as this emerging military threat. Turns out they're an economic power because they control the strait. But from an Israeli perspective, there is this process, which I've seen many times, where people talk themselves into believing their own rhetoric. So you start out by saying the real threat from Iran is its nuclear program, but you don't mean it. You just want to take Iran out because you don't want Hezbollah and Hamas to hassle you. Got it. But if you say it enough, you start to believe that the main threat to your existence is this government. And I think the Israelis are there. Like, I think they believe that. So could not just Netanyahu, the prime minister, but the whole country, could they live with a strengthened Iran, or would they be forced to do something really radical?
Well, Netanyahu said a couple of days ago that they're out to annihilate us, which is not true. And
that's a heavy thing to say.
And it shows, I think, a deep part of the psyche of Netanyahu personally, and of one strand of Israeli extremism, which is the belief, and it is taught, that they're out to annihilate us every generation. And the Holocaust is used as the model that we can never tolerate this again, so we must fight preemptively against anyone that would annihilate us. Well, it leads to, as even Netanyahu said, a Sparta state, a state that is just a war state. They've lost the capacity for diplomacy at all. Israel, unfortunately, has no diplomacy. It has diplomats, but the diplomats rip up the UN Charter, or shred the UN Charter, or stand in the podium of the UN General Assembly and accuse the whole world of anti-Semitism and hatred and so forth. It's not diplomacy at all, because one strand of thought is nobody can be trusted. We have to kill them before they kill us. If you live like that, you end up as a killer nonstop. And this is...
Even like Naftali Bennett, the ex-Israeli prime minister, he said that our friend, they need to fear us. Our enemy need to fear us. Our friend need to respect us. And all those big talks, those BS, I mean, coming from that filthy Zionist mouth, I mean, these are all because of United States money. Israel doesn't have anything to offer, zero. And that talk so big. It is so disgusting, so disgusting.
Is definitely one tragic reality of the mentality of Netanyahu or others. He's been killing before they kill us for decades. He's a killer. He has become a nonstop killer. He kills in the name of self-defense, but he kills in the name of preemptive self-defense. And so if you believe that the others are out to kill you, and you must not talk to them and must not try to understand or must not do anything else, you end up as a nonstop killer. Netanyahu would say, oh, I don't know what he would say to me, not much nice, but he would say, you're so naive. And what I would say to him is, but you, sir, have the idea, not out of any reason, but you have the idea that you will have a greater Israel and expunge the people that live in your area that are not Israeli Jews. That's your idea, that for the millions and millions of people there, you will exterminate them or ethnically cleanse them or rule over them in some racially segregated society. And then you want others to, then when others object to that, you say that they're out to destroy you. Why don't you show that you have a human reason, that you have a human decency, and say that in conditions of peace, there would be a Palestine? Yes, of course, because there are 8 million Palestinians. And in a situation of peace, we could have calm with the rest of the region without going to war, subverting governments, and so forth. But you don't try to do that. Netanyahu's position is there's no possibility of diplomacy. We must kill them before they kill us.
So disgusting, Netanyahu. I mean, this is such a shame that we live in a world where powerful, rich people, they can mass murder, they can commit genocide and get away with it. And we are able to do absolutely nothing. Subscribe for more videos.